Ambassador Vexhai clicked his mandibles nervously as he studied the holographic display floating before the Galactic Council. The data streams showed cascading red markers across 17 star systems. The Krillian Empire's latest expansion had consumed 3 more peaceful colonies in the past cycle. "The situation grows dire," announced High Chancellor Morthak, her crystalline voice resonating through the chamber. "The Krillians have ignored every diplomatic overture. Their war fleets advance unopposed through the Outer Rim territories." Around the circular chamber, representatives from dozens of species murmured in their native tongues. The ethereal collective's gaseous forms shimmered with anxiety. The stone-like Terrans of Graven Prime ground their massive fists. Even the usually serene Aquatic Federation rippled with distress. "What of the defense pacts?" asked General Zorth of the Canine Confederation, his wolf-like features drawn tight. "Surely our combined fleets are insufficient," interrupted Fleet Admiral Cassara, her 4 arms gesturing at the tactical display. "Our preliminary engagements have been disasters. The Krillians' technology is decades ahead of ours. Their shield matrices are impenetrable. Their weapons tear through our hulls like tissue." A heavy silence fell over the assembly. In 300 years of the Galactic Council's existence, they had maintained peace through diplomacy and mutual cooperation. War had been relegated to historical archives, until now. "There is one option we haven't discussed," Vexhai said quietly, his translator struggling with the emotional undertones. "The humans." The reaction was immediate. Half the chamber erupted in dismissive chittering and growls. "The newcomers?" scoffed Ambassador Quillix, his reptilian neck frill flaring. "They've been in the galaxy for barely 50 rotations. What could they possibly offer?" "They're a primitive species," added Councillor Vrim, "still using projectile weapons and chemical propulsion in many sectors." Chancellor Morthak raised a crystalline hand for silence. "Ambassador Vexhai, explain your reasoning." Vexhai activated his personal display, showing archived footage from humanity's first contact decades earlier. "When we discovered Earth, we found them in the midst of what they called the Third World War. The planet was consuming itself." Murmurs of disdain rippled through the chamber. "But observe their history," Vexhai continued, highlighting data streams. "In their past, humans didn't start their greatest conflicts. They ended them. When fascism rose to threaten their world, it wasn't the humans who began that war, but they finished it. When terrorism sought to destabilize their civilization, they didn't initiate that conflict, but they resolved it." "Barbaric violence," whispered someone from the back rows. "Perhaps," Vexhai acknowledged, "but effective. And there's something else." He pulled up recent reports. 3 cycles ago, when the Krillians first tested our borders, they also probed human space. A single engagement occurred. The display showed sensor readings from a battle that lasted mere minutes. A Krillian dreadnought, one of their most powerful vessels, had been reduced to floating debris. "Impossible," breathed Admiral Cassara. "Our intelligence suggested human vessels were technologically inferior." "That was our assumption," Vexhai replied. "We were wrong. The humans have been listening to our communications, studying our conflicts, preparing. When the Krillian ship attacked their mining station, the humans didn't respond with diplomacy or proportional force. The next image showed a human vessel emerging from hyperspace. Unlike the sleek, elegant designs favored by most galactic civilizations, it was brutal and angular, built purely for destruction. They called it a battlecruiser. It wasn't designed for exploration or trade or even defense. It existed solely to end threats permanently." Chancellor Morthak leaned forward. "You're suggesting we invite these war makers to solve our crisis?" "I'm suggesting we invite war enders," Vexhai corrected. "Humans have a saying. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. They don't start wars, Chancellor, but when war comes to them, or to those they consider allies, they finish them." The chamber fell quiet as the implications settled over the assembly. "Their initial contact proposal mentioned mutual defense agreements," Vexhai continued. We dismissed it as premature. Perhaps we were hasty. General Zorth growled softly. What would they want? In return, trade agreements, technology exchanges, cultural exchange programs, the same things we offer all member species, plus formal alliance status. And if we refuse their methods once they engage? Asked Admiral Cassara. Vexhi's mandibles clicked. Grimly. Based on their history, I don't think they'll ask for our approval. Humans have another saying. The enemy's gate is down. When they commit to ending a war, they don't stop until it's over. Chancellor Morthak consulted quietly with her advisors before addressing the chamber. The Krillians will reach the core. Worlds in 6 cycles. Our evacuation plans can save perhaps 30% of the civilian populations. She paused, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's lights into rainbow patterns. All in favor of extending an emergency alliance offer to the Human Federation? The vote was closer than Vexhi had expected, but it passed. 3 days later, the human response arrived, not as a message, but as an entire fleet dropping out of hyperspace at the galaxy's edge. Their vessels were nothing like the exploration ships that had made first contact. These were predators, angular, armored, bristling with weapons that sensors couldn't fully identify. The lead ship's transmission was brief. Understood. We'll handle the Krillians. Suggest you prepare humanitarian aid for Krillian civilians. There will be refugees. Refugees? Chancellor Morthak asked during the emergency session. Admiral Sarah Chen's holographic image smiled grimly from the human flagship. We don't make war on civilians, Chancellor. We'll give the Krillian leadership one chance to surrender and make reparations. After that, we dismantle their war machine and help their people build something better. And if they refuse? The human admiral's expression didn't change. They always refuse the first time. That's why wars exist in the first place. The Krillian War lasted 18 days. When it ended, the Krillian Empire's military was scattered debris drifting in 17 star systems. But their civilians were unharmed, their colony worlds intact, their new government already negotiating reparations and reconstruction aid. The humans had done exactly what they promised. They had ended the war. As Ambassador Vexhi watched human aid ships delivering supplies to former Krillian worlds, he realized something profound. Humans didn't start wars because they understood the true cost of ending them. And that understanding made them the most dangerous peacekeepers in the galaxy.